Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Good 5 Cent Cigar Newscast. I'm Ella Gerdts. Thank you so much for joining us. This week we talk sustainability on campus, eco-brick building, and a band battle. And of course, Charlie Adams will have all things Rhody athletics covered in this week's Rhody Sports Corner. For our top story, the 2026 Sustainability Summit is an annual sustainability conference where people of all kinds come together to discuss the topic of sustainability. Our very own Stephen Russo attended the summit. Here's Stephen with the story.
From food waste to clean drinking water practices, URI's annual Sustainability Summit gives URI students an opportunity to share their knowledge about sustainability and to help create a more sustainable culture here on campus. On top of knowledge sharing and brainstorming sessions, the Sustainability Summit also allows students to display their projects that they have been working on for most of the semester, so they can make their impact in making the world a little bit more sustainable.
It's the future, man. The best way to define sustainability from what I've heard through my classes is consuming enough in the present without compromising today's needs while also preserving enough for people in the future.
It's not like I sit up at night dreaming about sustainability. I have no choice. It's more of a call to crisis and trying to find solutions that can adapt and make this transition in the inevitable future maybe a little less rocky.
Reporting for the Good 5 Cent Cigar, I'm Stephen Russo. Back to you.
Thanks, Stephen. Have you ever heard of eco-bricking? Eco-bricking involves filling clean plastic bottles with non-biodegradable trash to be reused for other purposes. The Honors Program hosted a hands-on sustainability event turning non-recyclable plastics into eco-bricks. Stephen Russo has the story.
Ever wondered how you can turn unrecyclable plastics into something useful? Eco-bricking might be the answer.
If you're not familiar with an eco-brick, it's just it's like a plastic bottle stuffed with recycled non-biodegradable materials. It became a popular thing in other countries that are a little bit underdeveloped because everyone has access to plastics and bottles.
Since there's no shortage of plastic waste in the world, eco-bricks serve as a unique building block, capable of handling projects both big and small.
The people who use the eco-bricks built a school out of it for the children.
Right now, we're looking at building a bookshelf with about three shelves on it. We have some plans about potential future uses for this at URI, but for now, we're just building the bookshelf.
Reporting for the Good 5 Cent Cigar, I'm Stephen Russo. Back to you.
Thanks, Stephen. Last Friday, the Musicians Guild hosted a Big Nice Band Battle, a competition for studio time. Here's Eliza White at the competition.
The third annual Big Nice Band Battle was held this past Friday in the Memorial Union Ballroom, featuring 7 of the URI Musicians Guild bands. The grand prize, a whole day of recording time at Big Nice Studio in Lincoln, Rhode Island.
The band Trust Fund Diva won the battle at the end of the night, with the opportunity to record any of their original music at the studio.
I come to these shows a lot to listen to lots of people play good music, fun people, dancing, just people all around being just fun. It's super fun.
Today was really awesome. Genuinely, we're only 3 bands in, and everything's really felt blown up in a good way, obviously.
The crowd was a mix of friends, musicians, and both new and old Guild fans alike, but they all stayed energized through each band set, which was 15 minutes long, or about 3 to 4 songs in total.
And everybody's comfortable, even with moshing, people are safe and everything like that. So it's just an overall fun area to be, and I like to be a part of the scene. So,
I feel like we all played great. There are some technical issues here and there, but for all that happened, I feel like we did good with what we had. I feel accomplished.
As a music major, I spend my entire day doing classical music, playing classical music, listening to classical music, so it's nice to be able to kind of take a break from that and be able to come here and feel I guess what you said, a giant sense of community.
This was an evening full of high energy and great music. I'm Eliza White with the Good 5 Cent Cigar.
Thanks, Eliza. 20-somethings is a weekly talk show produced by 20-somethings for 20-somethings. This semester on 20-somethings, the students have been discussing the latest topics in the media, from politics, pop culture, and breaking news. This week, the Bachelorette drama, TSA Dilemma, Savannah Guthrie, and more. Tune in to 20-somethings on YouTube at 20-somethings TV. Looking ahead, here's what's going on next week at URI. Need a break from class? Want to pet a lamb? Visit URI's Peckham Farm on Friday from 1:30 to 2:30 to meet the new spring lambs. Visit the Carnival fundraiser on the Quad this Friday from 1 to 5 p.m. The fundraiser will be featuring fun carnival games, food, and music hosted by campus organizations and local business. Also on Friday, Bond will be hosting a dodgeball tournament at the Mackle Fieldhouse from 7 to 10 p.m. Join a team or watch the fun. To learn more about upcoming events on campus, visit URI Involved at uriinvolved.uri.edu. With that, I'll hand it off to Charlie Adams with this week's Rhody Sports Corner.
Thanks, Ella. Welcome back to the Rhody Sports Corner, your place for all the latest updates across URI athletics. I'm Charlie Adams. Women's basketball wrapped up its historic season last week. This week, we break down the highlights as we recap the season and look forward to the future under new head coach Colleen Mullen. Here's Tyler Pinheiro with the story.
The University of Rhode Island women's basketball team has wrapped up their most successful season in over 30 years, but with the recent news of head coach Tammy Reese leaving the team and going to coach the University of Florida's women's basketball team, and several players like Palmyra Mbu entering the transfer portal, where is the team going to go from here?
Thank you, everybody. And the last one, go Rhody!
There's a lot of words that come to mind when you talk about the 2025-2026 University of Rhode Island women's basketball team, but one you have to put in that conversation is legendary. The team came into this year with high expectations and blew those expectations out of the water, going a record 28-5 overall on the season, which is the best record in program history, as well as going 16-2 in conference play. And the team looked special from the very start of the season when they knocked off the highly ranked North Carolina State team in early November. And the team carried most of that momentum into conference play, beating opponent after opponent by 20 points, 30 points, and then got to George Washington University in the A-10 regular season finale, where the Rams would come out on top and be co-regular season champs with George Mason University. But in the Atlantic 10 tournament, the team would punch their ticket in the championship over George Mason to go to March Madness and win their first A-10 tournament in program history, with Albina Silla winning Most Outstanding Player in the tournament, led by head coach Tammy Reese and her amazing staff. But the success of this year raises a lot of questions going into next season. With the recent hiring of head coach Colleen Mullen from the University of Albany, Rhode Island still has some work to do once the transfer portal opens in just a few weeks. For the Rhody Sports Corner from the Ryan Center, I'm Tyler Pinheiro.
Thanks, Tyler. As for some other scores and results around campus this week. Men's track and field split up for a pair of meets this week. Their runners took on the Raleigh Relays, with Maddox Jordan setting a personal best in the 1,500 meter and Nick Martin setting a personal best in the 5,000 meter. Their field performers went to Smithfield for the Jalen Rainford Invitational, as the team finished 7th of 15 teams. Women's track and field was also represented at the Jalen Rainford Invitational, finishing 7th of 14 teams. Women's lacrosse took down Duquesne on the road on Saturday in a 15-8 win. Women's tennis picked up a pair of weekend wins, sweeping St. Joseph's University on Saturday before slaying the Drexel Dragons on Sunday 4-2. Softball kept a busy schedule after losing 4-0 to open the weekend series against St. Louis. The Rams stole the series with back-to-back extra inning victories, winning 6-4 on Saturday and 3-2 on Sunday. Rhody returned to action on Tuesday against Yale, taking another extra inning win 4-2 before falling 9-6 to split the doubleheader. Baseball struggled to score but managed to win one game in their weekend series against Richmond. The Rams fell 6-1 on Friday before being blown out 17-2 on Saturday and finished the series with a 2-1 win on Sunday. Rhode Island wrapped up its week on Wednesday in Worcester, Massachusetts against Holy Cross. Last week, Abby LePage led the cigar in our first ever edition of Sparking Up, going 7-1 for our Sweet 16 picks. This week, we made our picks for the Final Four and eventual NCAA tournament champions. It's a mixed bag for the men, but nearly everyone has the University of Connecticut taking the women's tournament. To keep up with the biggest sports stories around campus on the go, Tune in to Cigar Sports Talk every Tuesday on Spotify. This week, we covered URI's newest women's basketball head coach, recapped both basketball seasons, and more. That's all for this week's edition of the Rhody Sports Corner. To stay updated with all things URI athletics, follow us on Instagram and X @_Cigar Sports. Back to you, Ella.
Thanks, Charlie. That's all we have for you this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Follow us on Instagram @RhodyCigar and pick up our print paper anywhere on campus to stay up to date with all your Rhody news. You can also find us online at rhodycigar.com. Until next time, I'm your host, Ella Gerdts. This is the Good 5 Cent Cigar Newscast, and as always, have a great week, Rhody.